My name is John. Right now, I'm attending a high school near my house. This high school is a college prep school, and most of the students go on to college. But I plan to get a job after I graduate high school. That's because I don't have anything I really want to do in college. So, I want to enter the workforce right after graduation and get a head start on gaining experience before everyone else. This way, I think I can grow faster and gain more experience than anyone else. That being said, since this high school is focused on college preparation, my teacher tried to talk me out of it a bit the other day. I'm determined to get a job, so don't try to stop me. Besides, Tom says he's confident about getting into Harvard, but he hasn't been accepted yet, right? I considered going to college, but since I don't have anything I want to do there, I thought I might as well start working soon. I think you should do what you want, but since you have good grades and you're working hard, I feel you should go to college. I appreciate that you're thinking that much about me, but I think it'll be boring since everyone ends up doing the same thing in college. Just because you go to college doesn't mean you have to be like everyone else. You can live your life the way you want. I know that's true, but if I go to college, I think I'll end up being like everyone else. If you're that determined, John, then I guess it can't be helped. Most of our students go to college, but if this is the path you've chosen, go for it. Thank you for understanding my decision. Of course, I'll make use of what I've learned at this school. I'm glad my teacher agreed with me, but I'm pretty strong-willed, so even if my teacher had opposed, I don't think I would have changed my mind. However, if my teacher hadn't agreed, we would have had to meet a few more times, so I'm glad I got approval in one go. So, I've told my school that I'm gonna get a job after graduation, and now I need to tell my parents. My parents expect me to go to college, so they'll probably try to stop me if I tell them I'm gonna get a job. When I first entered high school, I was all set on going to college. Since my plans have changed, my parents don't know anything about it. Even so, I have to tell them, so I decided to talk to them with determination. I have something important to talk about. It's about my future, so I wanted to tell you both in advance. What's this serious talk about? It's rare for you to talk about serious stuff. You said it's about your future. What's going on? Tell us already. We're curious. I talked to my teacher the other day, but after I graduate from high school, I'm not going to college. I'm planning to get a job. Why the sudden change? You've always said you were going to college. That's why we sent you to a college prep school. I feel the same as your father. We haven't insisted you must go to college, but I think it would be better if you did. I figured you'd say that, but I've already told my teacher I'm gonna get a job. There's nothing I want to do in college. I don't know if you have something you want to do or not, but going to college itself has value. I don't understand why you're suddenly saying this. I think most people don't have something they want to do. So why not go to college first and think about it then? I appreciate that, but I've already decided I'm going to start working. I want to get a head start on my career. Sure, building a career is important, but it's not too late to do that after graduating from college. You should try going to college first. When did you start thinking this way? You seem pretty set on this, but it's the first time we're hearing about it, so we're concerned. It seems like my parents are quite upset because I had never hinted that I was thinking about getting a job. They always thought I would go on to college, so it's understandable they'd react this way when I suddenly said I wanted to work instead. To be honest, I expected this reaction, so I'm not that surprised myself. That said, I want them to support the decision I've made. But since they've given me the opportunity to go to high school, I decided it wasn't right to rebel against them and instead chose to calmly persuade them. My parents are usually understanding, so I thought if I explained it properly, they would get it. I recently met with an older student who went to college. When I heard they were playing around every day, I realized I didn't want to end up like that. I see. So hearing from that senior student made you not want to waste your time in life? Exactly. Rather than wasting 4 years in college, I thought it would be better to get out into the world and start gaining experience. I can understand feeling that way, but since you've made it to a college prep school, why not give it a bit more thought? Yes, at least try going to college first. You can always study and do something different in the meantime. Of course, I considered that too, but after thinking about my future many times, I decided that getting a job would be the best option. It seems like your mind is made up. All right, live your life the way you want. We're your parents, but we don't have the right to stop you. If you're that determined to work, then try entering the workforce and see where it takes you. It's a decision you've made on your own. Thank you so much for saying that. I knew you too would understand. I'll live my life without any regrets. If you need any advice, don't hesitate to ask. I know more about getting a job than you do, so feel free to ask me anything. I'm really happy to have your support. I promise to become an adult you can be proud of and succeed in the world. You've grown up so much, making your own decisions about your life. It's wonderful to see how much you've matured. My parents do understand me. I thought they might try to stop me, but they respected my decision and told me it was okay to get a job. If my parents were strict and unsupportive, they might have kicked me out, but there's no sign of that happening. I'm really grateful to them, and I want to start working soon so I can repay them. I don't know if they want that, but it's something I feel strongly about, so no matter what they say, I'll do it. However, the next day at school, for some reason, my classmates Tom, James, and Alex approached me. We don't usually talk much, so I wasn't sure why. Hey, I heard over the weekend that you're not going to college, John, and that you're going to get a job. Why did you suddenly decide that? Where did you hear that? I've only told the teacher. But yeah, it's true. Are you trying to hurt our school's reputation? Why would you do something pointless when the school is working hard to improve its college admission rates? What's pointless about getting a job? Even the teacher acknowledged my decision. That's why I'm confident about it. So, you're giving up on college because you think you can't beat us academically, huh? Are you so upset about losing to us in grades? James, what are you talking about? Sure, I might not have been at the top of the class, but that has nothing to do with this. Don't make excuses. Unlike you, we go to tutoring. Still, I didn't think you'd run away and just get a job. I'm not running away. I don't know why you're saying such things, but anyway, I've decided to get a job. No matter how hard you try, you can't beat us, who are going to Harvard. Is that why you're so frustrated that you decided to get a job? I don't know what you're misunderstanding, but I never thought about you guys at all. And I just found out now that you're going to Harvard. It's a well-known rumor that we're going to Harvard. So there's no need to lie. You really wanted to go to Harvard too, didn't you? Why are you making things up? I never aimed for Harvard. So everything you're saying is wrong. We know you've been secretly studying hard. So why hide it? Are you that embarrassed about going to a low-ranked college? I really can't understand what Tom is saying. He's always known for meddling in others' business, but I never thought I'd be his target. Apparently, he found out I'm not going to college and decided he could look down on me. I think it's really annoying that they go out of their way to gather information just to belittle others. It seems the three of them are rumored to be going to Harvard. Even so, I've never heard those rumors, and I'm not interested at all. But Tom assumes everyone knows about it and looks down on me based on that assumption. Anyway, I've decided to get a job, so leave me alone. And even though you are confidently saying you're going to Harvard, you haven't been accepted yet, right? I've studied hard, unlike an incompetent guy like you, so I'm a winner. There's no way I'd fail the entrance exams. It's admirable that you've studied hard, but looking down on others like that isn't right. Everyone has their own path in life. Don't make jealous comments just because you can't go to college. It's too pathetic to watch. I'm sorry, but I'm not jealous at all. If I had wanted to go to Harvard, maybe I'd be jealous now. You're just saying that because you're putting on a brave face. If it was possible to get into Harvard without any effort, even you would have gotten in. I don't see the appeal of college, so I chose to get a job instead. Even Harvard doesn't seem attractive to me. When you say it so plainly, it becomes really amusing. Deep down, you must want to go to Harvard. I don't understand why I should go to Harvard. While everyone is in college for 4 years, I want to gain experience and become a successful businessman. That's hilarious, thinking that a high school grad like you working hard for 4 years can compete with us Harvard students. Whether I can compete or not, I want to take on that challenge. So, please stop bothering me. High school grads always run away like that. I don't think I'll meet another high school grad again, so I'll take the opportunity to learn now." With that, the three of them left. From what I heard, Alex overheard me talking to the teacher in front of their office. That's how they found out I was getting a job. I really thought it was annoying that those guys found out. However, I've already decided to get a job, so it doesn't matter that they know now. Therefore, even though those three found out, I decided to continue my school life until the end. Somehow, I endured their harassment and reached the next graduation season. Then, it seems the three of them really got accepted to Harvard, and they bragged about it to me. "Hey, we're going to Harvard. You are starting to work as a high school grad, but we'll keep growing during that time." Is that so? That's impressive. You're pretending not to be interested, but deep down, you're really envious, right? Sorry, but I'm really not envious. I want to start working as soon as possible. You don't have to put on a brave face. It's normal for everyone to want to go to Harvard, so be honest with yourself. No, I'm really not lying. That being said, I think it's amazing that you got into Harvard. Your effort is truly commendable. You think you can get away with acting all mature? Deep down, you wanted to go to college, but gave up because of a high barrier like us, right? Why would I give up going to college just because there are people smarter than me? There are other universities besides Harvard. No other university can be called a university besides Harvard. What a funny thing to say. Are you being cynical because you can't go to college? It seems pointless to say anything more. Anyway, enjoy your college life at Harvard. I'm going to work hard as a member of society. Well, after we graduate from Harvard in 4 years, we'll quickly surpass you in salary and everything. Just don't get mad when it happens. Even if my salary gets surpassed, I don't see why I should be mad. I'll just work hard to build my career so it doesn't happen. No matter how much career experience you get, a high school grad and a Harvard grad can't be compared. We'll probably be making double your salary. Even though you'll have been working 4 years longer, you'll get surpassed by a newly graduated college student. You'll see how pointless it is to work as a high school grad. I don't think salary is everything. I'm not working as a high school grad just to get a high salary. Well, I don't know when we'll meet again, but if we do, let's talk about work. We're obviously gonna be more successful. With that, I parted ways with the three and started working. The company I joined as a high school grad didn't have a good working environment, so I changed jobs once. Thanks to the experience I gained at the first company, I now work under pretty good conditions. My boss is really nice and treats me without regard to my educational background. The other day, I went out for drinks with my direct boss, and we had a great time talking about our school days. "How are you as a student, John? I heard that you only graduated from high school. Why didn't you go to college?" "Well, I thought that even if I went to college like everyone else, I wouldn't gain anything from it. So, I decided to get a job right after high school. I did go to college, but it seems like you're more capable of work, John. Maybe college isn't all that important. Still, I think education is important, so I appreciate having someone like you around." At my previous company, people were judged based on their academic background. Of course, education is very important, but I think other aspects are more crucial. Even if someone has a great academic background, if their character is lacking, it doesn't matter. I see, so that's how you feel. Indeed, no matter how smart someone is, if their character is poor, they'll struggle. Just the other day, I met a new graduate during a business trip to one of our branches. Their attitude was pretty bad, and it left a poor impression. This company hires people like that too. I thought everyone here had a great personality, so I was surprised. It seems they were hired based on their academic background, but their character was so bad that they were sent to a branch office from the start. I see, so they were hired based on their education, but because their character was bad, they were sent to a branch. Normally, we'd train them at the main office first and then decide if they're suitable. If not, we'd send them to a branch. By the way, what happens to someone sent to a branch office? Do they ever come back to the main office? I've heard it's possible, but in the 20 years I've been here, I've never seen anyone come back after being sent to a branch. So once you're sent to a branch, there's no bright future ahead. This is the first time I've heard such a story, and honestly, I'm surprised. It seems like someone else's problem now, but you never know when it could happen to you. Even though knowing this doesn't change anything, I just have to keep working hard. I'm already doing my best, so I just need to maintain that. This company suits me because they evaluate based on job performance instead of education, which really motivates me. Thanks to this system, I'm earning the highest salary among people my age. My boss is happy about it too, and Tom seems pleased. Don't worry, John. As long as you keep up your current work, you'll never get sent to a branch. Thank you. I'll do my best to live up to your expectations. You've already met my expectations. But of course, if you achieve even more, that would be great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm still in my 20s, so I'll keep striving. If I don't understand something, I'll ask you. You're still in your 20s, unlike the college graduates, but you have a lot of work experience. That shows the benefit of graduating from high school. I felt that a little too. Most companies judge based on education, but here they judge based on ability, which is an advantage. Maybe it's just my perception, but it feels like more places are starting to value ability over education these days. People like you, John, might be getting more opportunities. Even so, compared to those who worked hard in college and gained various skills, I still have a long way to go. That could be said about anyone. Those who constantly work hard and continue to grow will succeed and be recognized anywhere. Now that you mention it, that's true. Even with knowledge, without ability, it's useless, so we always need to keep growing. When I was at my previous company, I was looked down upon just because I only graduated from high school, so it's a relief to be judged based on ability here. Plus, this company is big, and if you work at the main office, you can earn a pretty good salary. Because of that, I've been able to be filial to my parents. Recently, I even took them on a trip. Initially, they wanted me to go to college, but now they recognize my efforts. We talked about this during our recent trip. I can't believe you took us on a trip. Is this really happening? I never imagined you'd become such a respectable adult when you were in high school. Maybe starting work early helped you grow up faster. I'm glad you feel that way. Honestly, I was a bit anxious when I was about to graduate from high school. I'm sorry we opposed your decision back then. We thought going to college was the best path and didn't consider what was best for you. Yeah, we might have thought college was the best and high school wasn't enough. Sorry for not considering it properly. You too say that, but in the end, you accepted my way of life. I'm glad I was born to good parents. Thank you for saying that. Despite your busy work schedule, you always think of us. She's right. You give us presents on our anniversary and take us on trips for our birthdays. I've always wanted to be filial because you've taken care of me so much. I said that back in high school, didn't I? Yeah, you did, but I never thought it would become a reality. We're really grateful. When I said that, I didn't mean to put pressure on you. We just didn't want you to feel burdened. You both have been so kind, and that's why I've been able to do well. I think that's why things are going smoothly. We opposed your decision to work instead of going to college, but it's nice to hear you say that. Usually, when parents say things like that, kids might cut ties with them. You've grown up to be a great person. I'm glad to hear that from you both. I really appreciate everything you've done for me, and that's why I want to be filial. If I had bad parents, I wouldn't be doing this. When I said that, the two of them started crying. I think they were truly grateful to me. Seeing them like that, I felt glad I had worked hard since graduating high school. Around that time, I got an invitation to a reunion. To be honest, I wasn't sure about going, but there were a few friends I wanted to see, so I decided to attend. On the day of the reunion, as soon as I walked into the venue, Tom and his friends started talking to me. Well, if it isn't John. How did a high school graduate like you manage to come to this reunion? I heard everyone from our school went to college except you. Just because I graduated high school doesn't mean I can't attend. By the way, this is the first time I've heard that everyone else went to college. But that doesn't really matter to me. Are you still acting tough? I bet the teachers took pity on you and didn't mention it. I've never acted tough. I'm just being honest with myself. And I don't know if the teachers took pity on me. You must regret not going to college now, right? Especially seeing us successful college grads. I thought I might regret it, but everything's been going great. No regrets at all. I'm glad I chose this path. You're just pretending not to regret it. You can't admit the truth in front of us. Must be tough being a high school grad. I said I don't regret it. But think what you want. Nothing changes now anyway. The three of them hadn't changed at all since high school, maybe even becoming more sarcastic. Their confidence seemed boosted by going to Harvard, making them more condescending. I thought they'd be more mature by now, having worked for a few years after college. Actually, nothing has changed. But they still look down on me for being a high school graduate, enjoying their superiority. I didn't want to talk to them, but they wouldn't leave me alone. We ended up talking about work. So what are you doing now? Working in some factory, since you just graduated high school? I don't know what you think of high school grads, but I work for a regular company as an employee. Wow, even high school grads can work at a company. But you probably make half of what we do, being Harvard elites. I don't know how much you make, but I'm earning well compared to others. My skills are recognized, thankfully. By the way, John, we all got jobs at the same top-tier company. So we're working together now. That's rare. 3 people from the same school at the same company. Never heard of that before. We got hired because we're Harvard grads and exceptional. That's why we were taken in together. I see. Harvard grads are impressive. But it's still amazing to be hired together. And it's not just any job, it's at a top-tier company. When we get promoted, our salaries will be way beyond yours. They kept looking down on me and acting superior. I couldn't understand why I had to endure this, even as an adult. But I decided to just get through the reunion. So, which company did you join? A top-tier company should be well known, right? When I asked, they proudly announced the company name. Hearing it, I couldn't hide my surprise and fell silent. Noticing my reaction, they laughed and asked me for confirmation. Are you so shocked because it's such an amazing company? Well, it really is a top-tier company, so it's no wonder you're surprised. It's only natural since we graduated from an Ivy League school, but to be so silent. Well, unlike us, John only graduated high school, so it's a company he would never have a chance to work at. If you had worked as hard as we did, you could have gotten into a similar company. You are really wasted his life. Did you guys work at our company? Or are you guys at one of the branches? What do you mean by our company? Don't lump John's company with ours. Our company is truly top-notch. What? Does he work at a company with a similar name to ours? No, I work at the same company as you 3. However, I've always been based at the headquarters, so it's strange that I've never seen you 3. What? The 3 of them froze, unable to believe what I was saying. But I was also confused, not understanding the current situation. And then, after a bit of thinking, I realized that the new hires the manager talked about being sent to a branch must be these 3. So, I contacted the manager and asked for their names, and sure enough, it was these 3. Apparently, they got in because of their education, but were sent to a branch because they were useless. When I checked with my boss, it seems you 3 are considered useless at the branch. That's because we're still new. Yeah, we're just about to show our true potential. But still, why is a high school graduate like you working at the same company as us Ivy League grads? And you are more recognized by the company. Indeed. The other day, I heard from my boss about the branch. It seems that once you're sent to a branch, it's rare to return to the headquarters. Is that so? So even if we try hard from now, our chances of getting back to the headquarters are less. The 3 of them couldn't seem to grasp the situation. It's no wonder, since the person they looked down on was actually working at the headquarters of their own company. And I, the high school graduate, was more recognized than the 3 Ivy League graduates, so their reaction was understandable. To think you were bragging so much earlier, and now it turns out you were sent to our company's branch. When I said this, the 3 of them, embarrassed, quickly left. Apparently, they quit the company soon after, thinking they could never beat me. Since looking down on others was their way of life, losing to me must have been unbearable. However, from what my boss said, they weren't good at their jobs, so even if they join another company, their chances of improving are low. It seems my prediction was right, as they're struggling with their job search. The reason is that they apparently played around a lot in college. To make sure I don't lose to them, I'll continue to gain experience and aim to surpass Ivy League grads even as a high school graduate.